Welcome to another Last Week in Comics. As you can tell, I'm in a different location, and that's because I went home for Thanksgiving break and my birthday. Please spam the chat with happy birthday. So, basic plot synopsis, if you haven't watched the other 3 episodes, I go over what came out last week in comics. Sans Marvel, because fuck Marvel, until they remove Sabre from Captain America 4. I'm being more vocal about it, because they still won't! They're doing another round of reshoots. Okay. Anyway. First up on my list is Absolute Wonder Woman number 2. And this book, my god, it just keeps getting better and better. The most notable thing to happen in this issue is that we did get our first look at beautiful Butch, Steve Trevor. I believe that he is a he-him lesbian. Maybe that's because I am dating one, and they look exactly the same. And then also, I will say, Kelly Thompson should get the, mainline ongoing for Wonder Woman after this, because she has done so much to repair Diana's, Diana's image in the eyes of comic readers that she just deserves the book. Get Tom King off of that shit. Especially because she specifically mentions that Wonder Woman does not want to be used as a propaganda tool. And a certain Thomas can take notes about that. And speaking of Tom King, next on my list, unfortunately, is issue 1 of Black Canary, Best of the Best. The best way I can describe this book is that Tom King watched some MMA fighting and was like, I want to write a comic about that. Because, again, this man cannot write anything that he hasn't experienced. Which is especially why I hate that he's on so many female-led books. Because you've never, had a toxic mother-daughter relationship, Thomas. You can't write it. I've seen you, we've seen you try and write it twice now. I know that, Lizzie is, your little passion project because you wanted the fame and infamy that the people who made John Kent and Damian Wayne have. But, you didn't need to do all that. Tom King has one mood, writing about the Iraq war and his involvement in it. And, again, he cannot write anything that he hasn't personally experienced. Which is why I don't understand, out of the, maybe 10 now female-led books that DC has right now, he's writing 4 of them. Why are you letting him do this? Next up on my list is Green Arrow. I've heard good things about it. The only real, again, I don't really read it because it doesn't have enough Connor Hawke in it, and it doesn't have enough Roy Harper in it, and it doesn't have enough, Arrowette, or, any of the other Arrow family members I care about in order to justify me reading it. However, on the other hand, I know the comic book influencer who caused it to go from a 12-issue mini, I think it was only supposed to last, 6 issues, actually, who took it from a 6-issue story and created enough hype around it to extend it out to 18 issues now. And I think that it's just really important to show how, the real comic book influencers, the ones who actually talk about comics, how influential they are in the space and, in getting people to buy these books. I say this because I might have accidentally influenced a bunch of people to get Batgirl number 1, and I would like some credit for that. I'm kidding. I don't have nearly enough of the reach as Ollie does. Next up on my list is Harley Quinn. I did not hear anything about this book. I will say, just in general, I haven't been hearing a lot about the Harley Quinn ongoing. This isn't really, an issue with the book itself. The book is good, but, it doesn't have, it's not, as good as Poison Ivy. Again, if I say again because I had to record those once already. But, if I had to rate the Gotham City Sirens books that are out right now, it would be Poison Ivy, Catwoman's been pretty good, and Harley Quinn last. And that's not to say that, Harley Quinn doesn't have an audience. I just think that her writers are kind of just good. So, you don't get, people who are angry about the book being bad, or people who think the book is really good, so then they want to, yell at more people to read it. Okay, next up is MultiVersus. The only thing I have to say about MultiVersus is to Ram V specifically. Ram V, if you're watching this, first off, could I get an advanced copy of New Gods? I would like to review it and tell people how good it is. Number 2, Ram V, if your Scott and Barter kid isn't as cute as the one in MultiVersus, I will fight you personally. I mean, we'll have a nice talk first. And then I'm gonna start throwing hands. I do have some questions about the Vigil specifically, but then more throwing hands. Next up on the list, though, is Nightwing. So, thank God Tom Taylor's off the book. That's the only thing I've heard so far is, thank God. What is with DC and hiring bad writers named Tom? Whenever you hear a bad writer for DC, it's usually either Tom King or Tom Taylor. But luckily he's off the book. I don't really care for Nightwing, so I'm not really going to jump on. But it's a good day for my co-host of Ash and Their Fantastic Friends, Ion, because he can finally read Nightwing books and have it actually be good comics and have us not clown him constantly. No, we're still gonna fucking clown him. Okay, next up on the list, Power Roll by Leah Williams. I think I've been doing this for about a month now. I've ranted multiple times on this, how Leah Williams' Power Girl should go to Mariko Tamaki instead, and I stand by that. This book is just, I don't even think people are reading it anymore. I think, the only reason that it has as many sales as it does, and enough sales to keep it going, is because it has, amazing variant covers. There's this one where Karen's, flexing, her big muscles, and, I would have bought just, 10 copies of that in just varying outfits. But maybe that's just because I'm gay. Alright, next up is The Flash. I forgot that they were still printing Flash comics. I am sorry, Avery, aka The Flash Museum. I didn't realize that Flash had an ongoing, or had anything. I thought The Flash ended with Jay Garrick's book not being continued after 3 issues. I have heard nothing about this book, even from Avery. Action Comics, number 1077. I didn't know that Action Comics came out, every week. Jesus Christ. We're just gonna skip that, because I think the, mini story with Supergirl still going on. What the fuck? What the fuck do you mean, Action Comics? I didn't know that they printed weekly books. Okay, and then, a big one for this week, Justice League Unlimited number 1. My hot take, I posted a full review of it. The only really thing that's getting me, very excited for this book is the fact that Jaime is getting his own kind of, he's already in the action already, which is always a good sign for me because I just need more Blue Beetle in my life. And that's about it. That's as, I know he's appearing a lot in issue 2, but I'm just really glad that we have a Justice League book again. I just wish that we could go back to the days. And by go back to the days, I mean go back to the 80s, which I say that a lot about DC Comics, just in general. I think they kind of peaked there. But I wish we could kind of go back to the 80s where we had multiple Justice League teams running kind of alongside each other. You know, you had your internationals that broke up into America and then Europe. Bring back Justice League of America and Justice League Europe. I think that would be fun. Maybe actually do, 6 issues of Justice League Antarctica just to really round it out. Okay, so, Superman number 20 came out this week. The only thing of note of Superman so far right now is that Lois Lane and Clark Kent are hot. And they should call me if they ever need a third. Actually, no, I don't want to sleep with Clark. But, Lois? The only things I saw of this issue of Superman was just, here's pictures of Lois and Clark being hot. That's about it. Okay, next up is Batman Santa Claus Silent Night Returns. What? I like that we have brought back holiday specials, specifically with DC. You know, we had How to Lose a Guy Gardner in 10 Days for Valentine's Day. I like having these books. I just maybe wish that they wouldn't be Batman themed. I like them more when they're kind of like showcasing like all the different heroes that DC has. Oh, and then we had another issue, Batman Brave and the Bold. I do think that this one has a Wonder Woman story in it. However, my hot take is that we need to drop the Batman from the title and just call it Brave and the Bold. I also think Guy Gardner is in this. I probably should be reading it. I think Guy Gardner's in it. I hope so. I miss him. Next we have Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. Why? And then, last on the DC Comics list, we have another Detective Comics. I stopped caring about this book when Ram V left. Yeah, I have definitely stopped caring about Detective Comics at all, because Ram V is gone, Tom Taylor has taken his place. Which also, there's this really funny thing that Chip Zdarsky did recently about who's gonna take over Batman after him, where... like, the entire bit was he hopes it's going to Ram V. And I think it might be... I hope it's going to Ram V. I'll start reading fucking Batman if it goes to Ram V. But on it, he made a joke about how Tom Taylor... he was like, Tom Taylor can get it when I leave. But joke's on him. I sent Ram V onto that book, and now he has to wait until Ram V leaves. And I think that's perfect. I think that Ram V should never leave Detective Comics. I think that Ram V should keep writing comics, because he's just very good at them. I've liked everything he's written. Can he just write everything forever? That's not how that works. He needs to get paid fairly. Pay your comic book workers! Anyway. Comic book people should have a union. Books should have a union. Comic book people should have a union. That's it, because nothing really else came out that I want to talk about from the other companies. If you like Last Week in Comics and you want me to keep on doing this, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I also have a Ko-fi. If you want me to go on a longer rant about a certain book that comes out, drop like $5 in my Ko-fi, and I'll do it. That was Last Week in Comics. It is my birthday. And on my birthday, God, you know what the sucky thing is? You know what the sucky thing about all this is I can't have Wyatt Wingfoot month. The greatest thing is that when I did Wyatt Wingfoot month, because Wyatt Wingfoot was getting a new book in November, 8 days before my birthday, I could have my entire birth month dedicated to my favorite character, and now I can't do that anymore, and it sucks. It sucks so much, because I have so much Wyatt Wingfoot stuff, except now it's having to wait for a video essay that's basically going to be like an academic paper by the time I'm done with it, because I go too deep into it. I bought a book about Jim Thorpe today. Do you know how, like, clinically insane you have to be to make the connection between Wyatt Wingfoot and Jim Thorpe? Because there's only one book in all of Marvel stuff. There's only one instance of anyone at Marvel saying that Wyatt Wingfoot is based off of Jim Thorpe, and I own it. And now I also own a book about Jim Thorpe. I know too many things about Jim Thorpe now. Like, that he had, like, a short-lived basketball career. This man has done every sport in human history for some reason. I don't even know why. He did ballroom dancing. Jim Thorpe did ballroom dancing, so I asked this. What is Wyatt going to... Oh, I miss Wyatt Wingfoot month so much. I just need to talk about Wyatt Wingfoot. Like, Stack has been, like, hearing so much about Wyatt Wingfoot now. It's a little embarrassing for me. You wanna know how deep the Wyatt Wingfoot hole goes? I own this. I own this. This is a original inking of She-Hulk ceremony where Wyatt is in it, looking depressed as hell. I own this. He's so pretty in this, though. Wyatt Wingfoot, so pretty. But I own this. I wish I could be talking about Wyatt Wingfoot. I need to end this. that was a 5-minute rant about Wyatt Wingfoot. Anyway, so if you want to eventually see the Wyatt Wingfoot video essay that has put me under like a lot of money because I keep on buying Wyatt Wingfoot based materials for it, donate to my Ko-fi, like my videos, subscribe so I can start getting paid off of YouTube, because then I'm going to have an 8-hour video essay about Wyatt Wingfoot. And everyone wants that. I want to be talking about Wyatt Wingfoot on my birthday again, but I can't. Because Saber won't be removed from Captain America 4 even though they're doing more reshoots. Anyway, like, subscribe. Catch us next week for another episode of Last Week in Comics. How did I end the last couple ones? Okay, yeah. And I can't do this because I'm holding the mic.